Where are we? So what were we discussing yesterday? This pandas. We have started pandas, isn't it?
Yes,
And we have seen
slicing and everything is done.
we know how to read slicing and yeah, yes, that's true. So missing values is something that we have to start from, right? I told you that it takes time.
Yeah, yesterday showed you.
Right. So next thing is missing values. Usually that we have to import the basic libraries. I think already have here same import pandas and numpy. The remaining things, let me delete this. And panda is very important. Let me tell you again. So you have to repeat 3 to 4 times. Okay, so every concept that we discuss, try to understand and repeat 2 to 3 times. That is more than enough, and we're going to use it all over the AI course. So here we have a data set. I've taken it's not it's a dictionary. I given it in form of dictionary. Going to take it dictionary. So we know how to convert this into data frame, right? P dot data frame, and we're going to pass the dictionary. So it's going to convert into a data frame. We have seen an example yesterday. So I'm going to store it in a variable called df. No issues. So, but one problem here is NaNs. You can see that NaNs, right? Not a number. So there are two kinds of things, NaN and NaT. NaN is for not a number. It's for numerical values. Even for I mean it's categorical in the sense strings and all. But when it comes to time, we get something like NaT, not a time data, time-based data, a year, daytime kind of, right? So that is how it works. So here, if you see NaN, it's immediately say that it's a null value. Null values, if we have null values, we can't directly feed this data to algorithm. Finally, our goal is to feed the data to algorithm so that it is going to in turn generate the model that will help us to predict things on unknown data, isn't it? That is the process flow. But this very data, we can't directly feed to algorithm. We need to do some processing. That is when this pandas library helps. And when in case if it has null values, when we feed directly, we feed the data to the algorithm directly, then it's going to throw error. We can't. It's not going to generate the model, and of course we can't predict it on data when we don't have model. So the question is, how do we handle this null values? We have a bunch of methods here: drop NA, fill NA, and interpolate. There are three methods here: drop NA, fill NA, and interpolate. Drop NA, of course, is going to be used to drop a certain part of it. But what do we drop? We'll discuss that. So we're going to, it's going to drop, right? Whereas fill NA is going to fill with some value. How do we do that? Again, we will see that. Interpolate is an interesting method. We'll discuss at the end of so I'm not going to give a gist of it, right? So let's take that. If I'm going to execute it, I'm going to write the code, and you need to observe the code and observe the output and tell me what it really did. This is the original data set, and this is the output that we got after applying drop NA, axis equal to 0. Now you need to tell me what has happened. What is the change that has happened because of course, drop NA is going to drop null values, but what this axis equal to 0 does and why we got this output.
So the rows which contain not a number, those are excluded from the tables.
Exactly. So all the null rows, even though there are a few columns that has null values, sorry, not null values, actual values, and this has only some part of it has null values, right? In this case, in this row, it has a value, But doesn't matter whether it has one null value or multiple null values, it is going to drop all those rows. That is what access equals 0 means, right? There's no ambiguity. So let's say that access equal to 1. Now you need to tell me by looking at the output what has happened. What do you think that it has happened? I mean, it did.
Giving only index.
Yeah, is only giving the index. Why do you think that it has given only index part? The whole data
Sir,
frame
because
has
every column has one null, not a number.
yeah. So access equal to 1 is basically it does drop operation on column basis. And if you look at these columns, all the columns has at least one null value, isn't it? So it has dropped all the columns, which doesn't make any sense. In real time, do you think that we're going to use this? No. So drop NA is the last option that you have to use, especially drop x equal to 1. Of course, if you show that there are one or two columns that has null values and remaining columns don't have null values, and if you really want to drop this column, that's fine. But dropping on column basis, it's almost, and I haven't used it in my experience. So even the whole drop NA is the last option that you have to use. Don't use drop NA. Okay. But in some cases, when you have a lot of data and you're not going to bother about dropping some few rows or few columns, then go for it. But you have that option too.
So there are points like overseers or something like, right? Then we can use this one. I mean, the
Then,
data which is outside of that one normal value or something will be there.
yeah, so if the whole column has something that is completely weird, then it is better, no, but rather than using drop NA, you can manually drop that column. If that is the case. Is that what you are saying?
Yeah, yeah. That only
So,
that data set is getting out of the line or something when graph.
it means data set in the sense columns, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So let's take that
You
you
can
want
just
to
remove
drop.
that column itself.
Yeah, it's better drop the column rather than using drop NA. Drop NA is intended for to drop the null values. Let's take a particular column, almost everything has null values, only one or two. In that case, it's better to drop it, isn't it? But
Okay.
drop NA is going to apply for the whole data frame. If you want to specifically point a particular column, then you need to mention the column name. Do like this, rather than applying on the whole data frame. But that should be the last option. You need to cross check why we need to drop it and what is the purpose of it. Am I going to lose anything? So every piece of data, every value that you get in the data set is valuable. It's like gold. Look at it that way, right?
Yeah, got it.
The next one is, I hope this part is clear, and it has to be the last approach that you have to follow. And fill NA is the most important one. You're going to fill with some values, and what are those values that you want to fill? We will discuss that. Here, let me delete this one. Right. So let me do this part too. Let's check to this one. Fill NA. So fill NA is going to fill something. Usually you can see that if I apply fill NA 0, it's going to fill the whole data frame with 0. If you look at this, wherever it has null values, it has filled with 0, which is again not the not no it doesn't make any sense, isn't it? So filling string column even with 0 doesn't make any sense. But here, when you really want to fill with 0, then use it only against numerical columns, not in this sort of columns. Even 0 is going to consider string. But for string columns, if at all you want to fill with 0, then better use missing. Of course, I should have written ID as such, in that it has filled with. You can assign it back to this, like this, something like this. Okay, I'm not assigning back here, but I hope you got the point. So fill NA is going to fill with whatever the value that you want to fill with. Usually, we should not use fill NA against all the data frame, complete data frame. You have to fill on each column basis. When column basis. Got it? Any
So
questions
we
on
can
that?
specify only for the column or the
Yeah,
ID, right? Based
you
on that
can.
one, you did that one.
Yeah, you can. It's better to go on a column by basis rather than on the whole data frame, right? If you have let's say 100 columns, do you think that we follow the same strategy for all the columns? It may have numerical columns, it may have non-numerical columns like string columns. How do you handle it? So this make no sense, but here we are taking a simple data set. That's fine. We are trying to understand the method rather than whether it's really going to help the data set or not, right? Any questions up to here? Fill in a zero and fill in a missing. Missing is we should use it for string columns, right? Next, okay. I hope you don't have any questions. The next part is the most important one: B fill and F fill. I'm going to execute it. Okay. So it's better to keep the same. Okay. I'm going to execute this first, and you will tell me what this F fill does. F fill did. What do you think this? What is the change that it has brought in? F fill. I'm going to have other option B fill. Let me explain this. Like F fill means forward fill. B fill means
I
backward
think it
fill.
copied upper.
Right. Got it. Go ahead.
It copied the upper value to the lower, I think, row or something like that.
So basically, you mean to say that null value has been filled with the upper value.
Yeah.
You can see that 4, right? Here, if you look at this 3 and nan, it's been filled with 3. And here, you can see this null value has been filled with 4, right? What about B fill?
Yeah, lower one.
Exactly. So instead of the upper value, it's filled with lower value. So here we had null value, and now this is 7.0. This null value being filled with this value, same way, and so on, so on, so forth. But the problem is here, when we don't have, in this case, we have null value, and it's going to remain as it is. We don't have any other row after this, right? So there is no backward row for this. So it's
Yeah,
not going to
same goes for
hold.
the upper also,
Yeah,
right? If the first
exactly.
row is there.
So suppose if it has null value at the top, then it's going to be the same case. That is one problem with FL and BFL. So in real time, what do we do is we apply both. You can see, sorry, I think the problem is BFL first and then FL first. Yeah. Now you can see that it has filled with. So backward fill and then forward fill. But when do we use it? The exact strategy, we'll discuss that in machine learning template phase in a project. Any questions on this? B fill and F fill?
Yes.
Okay. Then so we can use fill in A and use this. This is the best way, and there are dedicated methods for this which does the same thing. Yeah, it's going to be the same thing. So fill and B fill. But instead of using fill in A, we can use this one. But rather, predominantly we're going to use fill in A. So it's quite easy to focus on one method, right? Rather than remembering these methods. But I'm just giving you that there are alternative ways for FL and B5. There is no other change. These two are same as these two. Okay. Next one is I'm going to execute this, and you need to explain me what this does. So I will show you. Sorry for that. Me. What happened? Can only concatenate not int or string. So basically, we need to apply only on. Right. So what are those columns? Val1 and val2, right? Val1, val2. Reason why I got that error is in ID is basically strings, right? It's objects. We can't apply a mean on top of it. That is the reason we got this error. So I'm going to filter out only the numerical columns, right? Rather than on the whole data frame. Now, sorry, you need to, okay, instead of this, now you need to tell me what has happened. So what is the change? Let me display the original data frame here, right here. Here, if you observe this closely, I'm not assigning it back anything. So that I can apply other methods. But in real, after making changes, you need to update back. Or if you are intended to change the whole data frame, DF. But in this case, this is the right thing because we are making only changes to val1 and val2, right? So okay, so what do you think that has happened here? So this is the original data set, and
That mean values are filled in that in non values.
right. So for if you apply on the columns, so it's going to give mean for each column, and for each column, let's say val1, null value being filled with the respective mean. But in this
Mean
case, you can see the NAN, here it's 5.2. Where do you think that we got? Val2 mean is 5.2, right? That's the reason we got 5.2. It's going to fill with the mean values. That will be even more meaningful, right? Rather than a fill before. But there is a particular strategy that you have to follow to fill the null values. We'll discuss that in project phase. So don't worry about what is the exact strategy that you have to follow in real time. Try to understand the methods or concepts that we discussed now. Any questions on that?
No, understood.
The next one is we can even fill with another column altogether. Uh, let's say that I have another column. I'm going to make it as 3. I'm going to give a more simplified one. How many values we have? 5, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have a dictionary here. So df equal to period data frame. There's a power outage here, so if you would get disconnected, I will connect back. But it's already 9:24, so it's better to continue tomorrow. Okay. So okay, here we have data frame, isn't it? So if you can even fill NA val 3. So I'm going to go fill with another column altogether. All right, so fill in a df val 3, and I'm going to need to there's not fill, so let me take, there's not filling on all the columns. What has happened? Okay, so this format is not working for some reason.
Maybe bracket.
Need to wear this. Is that a different name altogether? I mentioned so val 3. Okay, so df val 3. All right, so I think the problem is, so let me we need to maybe can provide like this. No, pass series. Okay, period series. What about that? Still not working. What happened? So it used to work well. All right, so I'll do one thing. My series dot series 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How many rows we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right, 5 rows only. All right, so pdf fill any my series. Oh, but basic idea is okay. It is filling now, so we need to take on column fill in A is going to fill all the null values with the respective values here. So here we have taken value 2, right? Here we have NaN. So it's going to fill with this one. So 3. The same case for this one. So I'll try val 3 now. Whether it works or not. You can see that it worked. I don't know what.
Multiple value, I mean, columns can be filled with the same thing.
You can see the NaN 3 and this NaN filled with 5. And of course, we can assign back val 2.
Val 1, val 2, like that. Can we use this? Both column at a time? Hello? Piyush?
Yes, Kananda.
Yeah, I thought I'm not in the class, so am I audible? I'm audible, right?
Yeah, you are audible.
I think he's gonna join back.
I'm sorry, it got disconnected. Yeah, I think it's already recording. So who is from Ashok ID? Please provide me host access. Okay, anyway, it's 9:28 now. I hope you got the concept, right? So we'll continue tomorrow. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So the last concept was there, right? That one addition of the variable 3. I mean, please,
Yeah.
that one value 1, value 2. Can we at a time include that
Yes.
value, third value to that one?
Yes, we can do that. So I think that is when it has thrown error.
Yep.
I don't
Only
know.
that last point, that's it.
Yeah, 1 second. Let me give. It is not really working. So 1 second. Val 1.
Sir, you are sharing your screens?
Screen.
I'm not sharing because I don't have host access. It's not working on multiple columns. We need to go on each column basis. Earlier, it used to work for all the columns. So it's not working. So we need to go on each column basis. So whatever I have shown earlier, so do it for val1 a separate thing. So write code for val1 or whatever the columns that you have. So it's not working on the whole data frame. It used to work. I think things got changed.
Have you shared these notes in the on Google Class platform?
I think the scripts are already uploaded, right? Didn't I upload it? 1 second, let me cross check. I think I already shared it. My name.
NumPy, I have seen, I think.
Oh, okay. All right. So I haven't shared it. So I will upload it by the end of in an half an hour.
Okay.
I forgot to upload it. Yeah. So you need to. I mean, it's going to work on. It's not going to work. This filled in a particular column, filling with another column. It's not working on bulk. We have to go on column basis, right?
I mean, is there a way, or like we have to follow this column by column?
Yeah, on column by column basis. It used to work well, like in previous versions. Now it's not. This is not going to work. So the one that I have copied in WhatsApp is not working.
Okay. That's it
It's
for
not
this day.
working. Yeah, that's it for today. So we'll continue tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay,
Thank you.
sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah,
Give a try. Give a try. I will provide the scripts also. Give that try. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.